everybody, and welcome to the Mizzou Arena here in Columbia, Missouri, where tonight we have a SEC conference clash as the number 22 Florida Gators come into town to face the Missouri Tigers. I'm B-Ron, and joining me tonight is Rico. Rico, it's good to be here with you, my friend. We'll be back here calling some SimWorld Hoops games.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. And so, look, it's always great, man, to see these players at this time of the year get ready to head into Hoopsteria. It's definitely one of my more favorite parts of the year, just as a basketball fan, man.
Yeah, Hoopsteria conference championship game time is quickly approaching as well. Teams have about 7 and 5 games left in the regular season as we get going here. Missouri wins the opening tip. Starting lineups for the Tigers. We have Dylan Bannon, the small forward. Jamari Holyfield is at the other forward spot as that one goes out of bounds when Tigers retain possession. Continuing through starting five here. We have Keyshawn Burkhalter, the point guard. Jafet Towns, the other guard spot. They're a highly touted recruit coming into the team this offseason. And, of course, David Draffin at the center position for the Florida Gators on the other side. Kyron Bello is at the 2 guard. Trey Willis at point guard spot. He is their big freshman recruit, Mr. Gator as I call him. We've got Jackson Glenn at small forward. Tyshawn Eastholm at power forward. He came over from the Yacht Club in recruiting from SimWorld Prep. And also Rizzo Davis Wrightstill is at center. Two young teams trying to find their way in the SEC here. Florida is one of the hotter teams. They are third in the SEC right now at 6-3, and coming in 4-1 in their last 5. Rico, they have been extremely hot as of late. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, they are coming in 9-16 on the year, 2-7 in the SEC. They're for 12th in the conference, 1-4 in the last 5, and lose over the last 3 in a row.
Yeah. And you know what's wild, too, is I think just this SEC has been so competitive. I mean, you got, it's 5 different teams that are really ranked here in the top 25. And so this is a super competitive conference, and I think it's going to be one where it's going to be interesting. And I think you could even argue that even if you just somehow claw your way out of this conference, you might be in contention to be a serious champion, possibly because of just how much you've gone through to get to this point, with just how tough this conference is.
Absolutely. There's another block from Rizzo Davis Wrightstill. Words are hard. 2 blocks already in the game. Towns pulls up. Can't get that one to fall. Wrightstill on the glass, grabbing the rebound. Big impact from him already. Through from the corner. No good. No score yet through the first couple minutes here of play here, Rico. And I want to get your thoughts on the keys to the game here. There's a steal for the Gators as they bring the ball up here.
Yeah, it looks like the Florida is definitely a little tight right now, and so hopefully they can kind of get some things back together. And I think for them, the bottom line is that they are very good as far as holding opponents down with point scoring. So defensively, this team is going to have to lock in tonight. If not, it's certainly going to be an upset. And I think with Missouri, look, the key for them is they've got to cut down the turnovers. I think that this is a team where I've said this before, maybe you catch it sometimes on the shows, that you just got to ask yourself, did you get beat by the opponent or did you beat yourself? And I think a lot of times when Missouri looks at the tapes, they're going to find out that they're beating themselves.
And you got to find a way to not do that, and taking care of basketball is a good way to make sure that does not happen. Keyshawn Burkhalter at the line here for the Tigers. Finally, our first points of the game coming with 17-28 in the first half. It took free throws to get it done, but points regardless here. And on the season, Burkhalter shooting 71% from the free throw line. You mentioned the turnovers, Rico. Missouri, 8th in the nation in most turnovers per game. 11, almost 12 turnovers per game as a team. Like you said, gotta cut those down.
Absolutely, and that just comes down to, I think, just a team that at times I think they play a bit too quick, and then they just get sped up. And so that's part of being a great team, is just understanding tempo, understanding pace, and those kind of concepts. And so that's something that's winning habits, and Missouri's just got to grow into it. The only way you get there is you got to go through it.
Yeah, you do got to get through. Looks like we got the Cardinals and Marlins playing out here today, apparently. 1-0 ball game here.
Bringing baseball to the basketball court. That's what we're doing right now.
Exactly. Look, we're time to spring training is started, and teams are there for the season in the SWLB.
Yep.
We could go in there, and now Florida getting on the board as well. Rico, I'm very surprised, again, looking at how long it took both teams to start scoring. Could this be a sign of things to come for the game overall, do you think? Or is that just an early spell where they're trying to settle into the game and figure each other out? Oh, what a block that was from Jackson Glenn.
Man. I mean, defensively, they just look great. But we talked about that with the opening with Florida. This is one of the things that they do well. But, I just think that what it comes down to is maybe it's just that the circumstances right now in the season is getting a bit tighter for teams. And I think that you're going to start to see this because in Hoopsteria, look, you're still going to see some fast-paced action. But I think that you're going to see that the games are going to slow down just a bit. And you might see this type of action in Hoopsteria. So I think that this is just part of the deal right now at this point of the year.
Well, I think a lot of people would be happy with what we're seeing here from a defensive perspective. But a lot of people out there miss those days, and we're seeing them here to start this one. My oh my, block after block, rejection after rejection. There have been multiple block party invitations sent out already in this first half, and there's a great basket inside. David Drackman.
And let me say this, B-Ron. I mean, if the 2004 Pistons are watching right now, Ben Wallace and also to Rasheed Wallace out there, shout out to them, they would want you to join the team because this is exactly what they did. Just it was ugly basketball. Defensively, this is what you love to see. So.
Exactly. And that three-pointer falls from Levi Rhodes. Got that one to go, and now we're all tied up at 5 here. Finally getting away from the old baseball scoring here. There's a heavy offensive game here with baseball. And that three-pointer answers right back to Fett Towns.
Yeah, finding some space. That was a terrific down screen right there. Caught it with just confidence. Located the rim. Good base. Nice shot.
And Jafet Towns, he is, like I mentioned earlier, the biggest recruit that this team brought in their offseason recruiting phase of the year. But the problem was, coming into it, that they didn't really get anybody else around them to help him out as Towns scores there again. But we've seen throughout the season so far, we've seen Dylan Bannon and Jafet Towns both play really well with each other. Bannon is a junior. He's projected to be a first-round SWBA draft pick. That's another block from Drackman, continuing to send shots out of bounds. Gators will retain possession. I'm sorry, that's not David Drackman. That's Jimmy Honaker here with the blocks that he's been giving out to everybody. But back to Towns and Bannon here. They have been a nice duo together this season, and we thought that it was going to be a lot of Towns coming in and getting the recognition of the top-tier recruit sort of thing and getting a lot of the work. But both of them together have worked well. They just need to bring more pieces in around Towns for the future because, again, Bannon will probably be declaring for the draft after the season.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're talking about that they've worked well off of each other. I mean, you're looking at two players that are just right around the same totals point-wise, but I think that both have done a great job as far as just not playing hero ball necessarily. I'm just kind of thinking back to the Miami Heat when they first got LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, who I think, man, had he been able to still play, he'd probably still be eating some people out there. But, look, I just think that when you're talking about the compliment that they have with this, I like it, and I do think that you're right in the sense that they did put a lot of emphasis on Towns. And so I'm not sure what they were thinking from a recruiting standpoint, but it seems like that they need to get a little bit better in the front court, and maybe this team is off and running.
Yeah, and this is, again, Missouri, that I remember when the whole saga was going on. Yep. There were reports that Jafet Towns was the main guy they were hoping to get, and they got him, but then they were kind of hoping that, oh, well, everything else fall into place, right? Right? No.
No. Recruiting doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. You got to get out there and you got to go get it. And shout out to I think it's Coach Dre Pope. Just listening to some of his on-air commentary and just talking about the importance of recruiting. look, it's an active sport in recruiting as well. And so that is the lesson I think that Missouri has got to learn from.
Yeah, you would hope that that's what they took away from this past offseason recruiting, as Town gets another bucket there. Great job from the freshman, 14-10. Tigers out in front, and when you look at the recruiting class they have now coming in, they have clearly learned from it because they've got a couple of guys here, 2 ranked in the top 100, 1 unranked guy. You've got Emil Griffin, you've got Kanalik Jokic, and Deontay Hilario, all coming in next season. All coming in next season to the Tigers, and I think that of those 3 guys, I think that Griffin's going to be a nice piece to pair with a guy like Jafet Town. What we've seen of him in high school. As there's a charge on Honecker. Jackson Glenn got in the right position to take the charge, and finally subs are going to come in from both sides. And Jackson Glenn, it has really, what I've seen from Florida this season, had his call in a couple of their games this season. Jackson Glenn is a really good defender, and that is a great sign right there. Reason why.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you're talking about here with him, and man, just kind of, not to skip back, but going back to your point, like I like the additions too that you were talking about here. It just seems like, man, they just certainly learned from their experience, but they're a year behind where they would like to be. But hey, it's all about a learning process, right?
Right, exactly. You would think that this would happen, right away. That way you could continue to build on your future versus scrambling to the future. That makes sense. They're 2 different things.
Yeah, it's like being proactive, right? And I think that's what it comes down to when it is like recruiting and things like that. Like you just gotta have this vision or this plan of where you want to go with your team, like before you get there. So
you gotta figure out something that's gonna work. As you see, Javaris Meyer checking in for Tigers here. Red afro there, easy to spot on the floor. 2 free throws. Up and good from Burkhalter. 16-13. Missouri 3-point lead, and it's still, I'm going to say it every time I see him play in the SEC. It's been like that for a while now, but it's still weird. See him in the SEC when they've been in the Big 12 for a long time, along with Kansas. And Sevier is going to commit his first foul of the day. That one going to be on Kyran Bello, sophomore shooting guard from Florida, Miami.
And you know what's crazy too, B-Ron, is like, man, don't be shocked if there's more conferences that kind of shake some things up. I think that's a real possibility. Especially with just the way things are going and just the landscape and the money that's kind of out there into college sports nowadays, man. It's just so much going on with the changes in conferences and things like that.
Yeah, there's so much going on in basketball these days, and college sports in general these days, that I think a lot of it has, in my opinion, ruined what makes college sports special. But that's the topic for the day.
Yep.
I feel like, Rico, that's you can think about on various shows around SimWorld here. Yep. But I think that's one of those things where there's a lot of things that make college sports special, make it different. And that alley-oop was trying to make something different there. It did not happen. It could not be corralled there properly from Meyer. Instead, Gators now taking over possession of the.
And that's the issue with Missouri right there. It's those plays where it's like, man, that is a low risk, or a high risk and like kind of a low reward. Like you're passing it into traffic, and this is the type of turnovers that really this team has had all year.
Now foul on Sevier. His second, picking up too quickly in his first few minutes of action here.
Yep.
And now Messena Warnick heading to the line here for the Gators. Freshman is Warnick from Palm Bay, Florida. Listed here at 6'11", 240, and he's shooting 56% from the line on the year so far. Big free throws here, looking to tie it up with at least 1 make.
As a freshman too, that's what's super impressive. Just looking at some of these players that could maybe turn into something in the SWBA. And I just wonder, what is his offensive game ultimately going to turn into? And so, I guess we'll see over time.
Yeah, things will continue to develop here as everyone does here at SimWorld U, still looking to make the way to the next level, find their role on a team as Warnick makes both and gives Florida the lead back 17-60 here. I think that's one of the things that you talk about as you start to get to this level of basketball, Rico, because prep basketball is kind of still a willy-nilly, guys kind of do your own thing, but college more finding your role. And right now, Missouri out in front, they're playing their role. Trying to get them back in this one. They do have the lead. We're going to take a quick break after the timeout. We'll be right back, folks.
Do you have the mind of a coach? Are you willing to fight for your players? Can you handle it when things get heated? Can you manage your star player's ego? Can you handle the stress? Can you become a legend? The only place in the world where you can coach live in a virtual world. SimWorld Sports.
Welcome back, everyone. Missouri out in front here after battling back in Rico to start this one through the first 10 minutes. This has been an extremely physical game. Again, we didn't see a basket until 17 minutes into the game, and that was a free throw. So that just goes to show how physical this game has been so far at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the real physicality between these two teams, and you know, this kind of goes into what you're going to get from the SEC. I mean, it's super competitive out there, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of just kind of an enforcer mentality out there. I mean, I think that's exactly what you get here from their starting point guard, talking about Florida's and Trey Willis, and I think that is something that really kind of trickles down the team. You often hear that story, or you often hear that with your point guard is an extension of your coach, and man, you could just tell that is really kind of really translating to both teams in this early game.
Yeah, Willis brings a lot of high flying ability at times, but you mentioned the physicalness of Willis as well, and that's something that everybody really wants to see, especially at this level. And for a freshman too, and there's another block on the interior from Missouri. Their interior defense tonight has been phenomenal. I think you heard a bit of talk there after the block on the way up the floor.
And let me say this too, B-Ron, about Trey Willis. Here's a guy that, man, he does MMA off the court. Okay, so he is very comfortable when things turn physical. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to see him in a dark alley. Probably not in a light one either, but, you know.
Yeah, he's the other guy.
Corner, no good. Oh, yeah. Rebound, second effort, no good. Another block from Missouri. I'm going to keep saying it because I'm still impressed by it, Rico.
Yep.
Missouri's interior paint defense has looked really good to start this game. And when Florida on the other end of that, it's their defense also looked really good. Pass inside on the break, good.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too, because when you look at the block shots for this team, I mean, they're just right around like 3 blocks a game. I mean, they are top 50 here in the country, but I don't know what it is today. I mean, they just seem extremely locked in on the defensive end and just, man, they're just reading with anticipation and not fouling. So, great job.
And oddly enough, I think a lot of that has to do with head coach, with playing against the Fed Towns and Dylan Manning, like I mentioned earlier. Because, I had a chance to talk to Todd Golden before the game, and he was mentioning that he wants to put a lot of pressure on those two in particular and make everybody else beat them tonight. So if they can do that, they're, on the right track. And so far, so good. 21-18 put out in front.
You know what, and what that reminds me of, too, and just kind of hate myself here a little bit, but it reminds me of a great defender that used to play for the San Antonio Spurs, and Bruce Bowen, okay? Because Bruce Bowen, what he used to do to you is he used to just kind of touch you up out there, and it was like one of those things where you just get frustrated as a scorer. And I think that I see the concept here and what they're trying to incorporate against some of these great scorers.
Yeah, I remember Bruce Bowen when he was playing, because he was there when Manu was there, when Tim Duncan was there. He was there for a while, though, I feel like. For a good little bit.
Yep. Absolutely. NBA champion, and man, you need somebody to get in the corner, knock down a three, and just, again, take the toughest assignment. You might get 20, you might get 30, but it was going to be a tough 20 or 30, and you did not want to play against Bruce Bowen.
Yeah, exactly. There's head coach and escape on their sideline, and you know what we want to do here? We want to give away some EMs. As much as we like, having you all here, we want to show our appreciation to you. We do that by giving away EMs. You gotta be in here to win those EMs. We're gonna take the number of viewers across all of our various streaming platforms at a 0 to the end of it. The more people we got watching in the streams across all our platforms, the more money that's gonna come your way in the form of EMs. When we do that, when we do decide to do that giveaway, be present, be active in the chat, have a chance to win those EMs, as always.
I was going to say, B-Ron, can we get 6 million people in there? You can buy the Celtics. We'll say that one more time.
That's right. You can.
You can get you the Celtics, baby. 6.1. We get you the Celtics.
6.1 million EMs.
Yeah, I think it was Bill. So not Mill, a couple bills. So just come on in.
You're right. Billion. Yeah. Thank you for the correction there. If a franchise worth $1 million, that's a little less than $1 billion. But hey, it'll happen either way, I'm sure.
You're on your way.
Right. Well on your way. Exactly. 23-18, Defense Towns looking to make closer. Can't do it there. That shot, but a good look from Towns, and Towns not afraid to take those kind of shots when he sees the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, here's a player that he's confident, and this is why I think a lot of people are looking at him as a freshman, right now, because he is a guy that plays with supreme confidence.
That three-pointer rattles home. That was Oakland Raider. Got that one to go, and Florida just answering trying to essentially one up there on Missouri after mystery on their end down the floor. Saying, no, we can do it. We'll do it instead. Oh, fancy finish from Jafet Towns. He's been doing that though since his high school days. I had the pleasure of watching him play with the reigning trade down in SimWorld Prep, and he's you mentioned earlier a confident scorer. One of those guys who is not afraid to shoot the ball or try to get the basket to score anytime he can, because that's just the kind of confidence he has in himself and his scoring ability.
You know what? And I think another thing that really kind of sets him apart, and this is going to be kind of wild, but he likes to play chess. And I think that when you're playing basketball, it is a lot like chess, because you're trying to set your man up, you're trying to rock them off balance and get them into the spot that you want to take advantage offensively. And so I think that he's very much a chess player on the court, and I think that that's something that really makes him special, just really as a player.
Yeah, and he was a special player last season in SimWorld Prep. He was one of the top recruits in the nation in SimWorld Prep, and you bring that kind of talent to a school like Missouri, a unlikely place. He's from Montana. but I'm sure he had his pick of a lot of schools he could have went to and decided, I'm going to go to Missouri instead of somewhere like, a Kentucky, a Duke, a Florida. He could have went anywhere, I imagine, Kansas.
Yeah, and I love that, though. I love when kids go ahead and they take a chance really on a school that, they weren't, the highest ranked team last season. No, they maybe are not the most attractive as far as maybe other recruits coming, but it's about starting a legacy sometimes, B-Ron, when you go to these campuses and you just want to go to a place where maybe, hey, you are the main focus and star, and maybe that's a transition for you that feels more comfortable. Some players, they transition to, maybe a bigger program and they're just not ready for that, or they don't like the role that they're getting ready to jump into.
Yeah, and you spoke about players getting ready for a big program, and there's a lot of younger talents in the prep ranks that are going to be reclassifying up to play in college a year earlier than they normally would, Rico. And I think that is something that's going to be intriguing to follow as the season goes on next year. Grable knocks down another one. I'm like, looking at guys like Jay Midoriya from SimWorld Prep and Craig Packer, Ty Killens. There's a couple of players, notable players, who are reclassifying up to the college level next season as Towns scores again. Good start from him in this one.
Yeah, it's so smooth and effortless, and that's what I love about it. As a freshman, he plays just with a different pace. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in the school for a long time, and I think that's why when you see that type of upside, I think that, look, as a coach, you got to make sure that you stay up to 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever it takes to get the best recruits around him, right? You don't make that same mistake that you made just a season ago, just banking on him.
Right, exactly. Because you gotta think that Towns has the kind of talent where he's probably going to be leaving next season, at the end of next season. There's another block on the interior from Missouri as Towns fires a three, connects with it. Big shot from Jafet Towns, and you see the swagger and confidence starting to fill in that boy's bones right there.
And that was beautiful because I think that was like a semi-fast break. And, he kind of gave his defender a little bit of a jab step like he was going to the rim, found the corner, found the laces of the ball, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Great shot, too. Yep. Towns also not one to really speak his mind out there, but when he does, you'll know about it. His talk is talk, and there's a foul on Eastholm as we heard the smack there of the wrist. Eastholm said, not this time with Fed Towns. You're not doing that again. Make you work for it a little bit, at least at the line. And Towns on the year, 69.8% free throw shooter, so we'll give him 70%.
Yeah, I love it. And you know what I love about him and Towns is it's not like he's going to beat you with a lot of super athleticism, but he's got a lot of good intangibles, B-Ron. And, I talked about this a little bit earlier, with another scout, or not another scout, but another player we were looking at in the SWBA level. But just the ability to catch defenders as they're looking down and get them caught in the wash with your screens and things like that. Like, I think that he really displays a lot of that, which I think are just going to translate and just kind of open up his game just that much more. I think he could be even better without the basketball in his hands.
Yeah, and I think that it's one of those things when you look at a guy like Towns and you say, man, this guy has a lot of upside to him. Yeah. And if we can get him in, talk about a pro level team, we can get him in here after his second season with Missouri next season, for example. He decides to leave early, go pro. You get him in there, you got a lot more time. Yeah. Prove with a guy like that. And now Xavier Ruben Matthew going to get hit with the foul on David Draffin. It's Ruben Matthews' first of the day. So David Draffin goes to the line, and Draffin, a 65% free throw shooter, 66%, and round it up by one.
And B-Ron, you know what? I just caught the thought here. I'm thinking of another young freshman here, and it's Ethan Lederman. He reminds me a little bit of the way that he can kind of work off ball, and I was just talking about that. Like, I like the way that he's able to kind of set some people up, and I just think that you're seeing those type of qualities with Towns, and that's what's going to make these players really special. I think it's combo guards and things like that. And so I'm just super excited to see what these players are going to look like down the line.
Yeah, there's so much talent here in SimWorld U that you want to see them all succeed, and especially if you've been following them since their high school days, and now the Gators. Yep. And Holden will take a timeout. 1 point lead for the Tigers. Took a quick break as the first half almost over. We'll be right back.
Yeah, you know the deal. You know it's your boy Maestro. Just giving you a chance to say, hook up with us here in SimWorld Hoops. Do your game. Think you got the brain, be the coach. Think you got the game, be the player. Want to hang out and just party and just get it done together and have some fun talking about ball? We can do that too. You know the deal. See the game, be the game.
Be careful, my right arm's broken!
Quick, blaster.
Welcome back, everyone. Florida down by 1, and Jafet Towns has been the leading man for the Tigers so far in this one. 12 points for the man on 44% shooting as well. Maybe might like it to be higher, but you know, take it. Meyer commits his first foul of game on Levi Rhodes. We'll see Rhodes go to the line here for the Gators. Rhodes on the year. Not the guy you want to see at the line if you're shaking right now. 28% from the free throw line. Rico, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Is that good?
28%?
Is that good? Well, it's certainly not bad. It's certainly not bad. It's another word worse than bad.
Let me just say this. When it comes down to Hoopsteria, I mean, when possessions are at a premium, guys, I can't get it out. When they're at a premium, this is where you have to just really think about your strategy, because this can hurt you if you have somebody on the floor that cannot knock down free throws, because other teams are going to take advantage of that. So, man, this is why I'm excited for Hoopsteria when it starts to come.
Yeah, I know Maestro and Big Bob were talking about that on the today's episode of Around the Table.
Yep.
And they were talking about Hoopsteria and the implications of it, and it's going to be exciting because of the one-and-done nature of it. If Jackson Glenn scores and gives the Gators back to I believe that's another lead change. Not keeping tight, but that's another lead change here in this one. But free throws are going to be a big part of it. More defense from the Gators here. Both sides racking up blocks throughout this one in the first half here. That three-pointer, no good. Crashing on the glass, having a board. There has been a total of now 12 blocks between these two teams in just the first half alone. This is insane, and this is setting the table for what's going to happen in the second half.
What is the record? I don't know if there's anybody in the truck that can give us the record for a half, because this is just. Let me tell you something. I think if you are a Detroit Pistons fan, I'm going to say that again. I'm talking about the Bad Boys. I'm talking about the 04 Pistons. You're a fan of this type of game defensively. You just love this right here.
Yeah, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Wallace, guys. Now throwing up a lob, and it's no good. Turnover. Back to the Gators. Now they're running the floor on offense in transition. Slowing the game down here wisely. No, saw nothing there and decided to reset things. Rhodes trying to look ball tipped around. Back to the Tigers, and Towns up on the layup. That's Dylan Bannon there. My apologies. Dylan Bannon getting that one to go.
28. Okay.
Yes, we got the note. Got the note from the truck. 28 blocks. His record 4 blocks in a half. We're not gonna get there. The first half comes to a close right here, but regardless, an entertaining one to be sure. Final 3 seconds, and no! Hard reaching in there is David Duffy.
Is that?
That is wow.
What is that?
That is huge for Florida. It is Levi Rose going to the line though. So mentioned it earlier, not the greatest free throw shooter, but you still don't want to give an opportunity like that.
What is that? We're having a discussion at half. Maybe we're having a discussion before we get to the locker room, actually. So
yeah, right.
Don't be surprised if that doesn't end up on ESPN. All right,
right, exactly. Yeah.
Exchange, because that's not good foul management right there. That was terrible.
Not good at all. Luckily, didn't have to hurt them too much. Florida heads to the locker room. One top, 36-34. First half thoughts, Rico. Go.
Yep. Do I dare say it is all about that man in town? And it is just Towns here from Missouri, because, look, he's been very silky smooth with the offensive game today. 12 points. Love the way that he's got the defense on the string. He's got to continue to do that if Missouri wants to pull off the upset. And I think with Florida, look, they got to clean it up, because I think that Florida is just really not playing to their style of basketball. I think that the defense is there, but they got to find somebody else that is going to be a willing scorer. I think that somebody has got to shoulder the load right now. I'm not liking what they look like on the offensive end. It looks, to be honest with you, a mess.
Well, we'll see who cleans up the mess on both sides. Second half coming at you, folks. Right back to Columbia, Missouri with it. Stay tuned.
Car's all yours.
Thanks. Cars.com's expert reviews made it easy, but
Shouldn't there be more back and forth?
You missed the drama, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this will do the trick.
It's a puppy.
Not a puppy, a wolf.
What now?
He's a wolf. And that is its incredibly protective mother.
put the wolf down.
You guys good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
See the game, be the game.
Welcome back, everybody. You know what time it is. Throw up those deuces, folks, as we have second half basketball here for you. 36-34. Florida out in front trying to hold on to their near top spot in the SEC at 6-3, looking to move 7-3 in the conference here. Want to take a minute and thank everybody who's been watching us so far across all of our various streaming platforms. Tyshawn East home, quick inside. Realize, wait a minute, no one's here. I'm just gonna score. They turned around and said, "Huh? Where did the defender go?" Got lost, but no. Real quick, Rico, before you jump in, we got YouTube here, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitch, X. I might be creating one place I feel like, but that's everywhere I feel like. Regardless, thank all of you so much for being here wherever you decide to take in the game tonight. And if you're new across any of these platforms, I want you to come over to the Discord. Check us out over there, discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops, or the website SimWorld Hoops. Take a look over there and get more immersed, more information about what we're doing over here in SimWorld at Talent. It's his first foul of the game here. Talent had a great first half. A lot of blocks in the first half too, from both sides. Rico combined 11 blocks in the first half, and that really kind of set the tone for around 13 blocks in the first half. And really the tone, Rico.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have got to just really credit both teams for the activity and just not giving up the layups. I think that both teams are doing a terrific job as far as just using their length and getting to the block shots, because the shot blocking comes down to just timing, but also too, you've got to be impressed with the fact that there just has not been the foul calls on these block shots. And so thoroughly impressed with this type of defense. I think that some of these top tier defenses, they would love to play like this, but still have their offense clean.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the no fouling bit too, because there really haven't been a whole lot of free throws on either side. There's been a handful. Oh, look out! Look at a body souvenir in the first row here. Look out! But this footer will take over. But there have not been a lot of free throws on either side between the two teams. Florida's took 9 so far in the first half, and Missouri took 8. So not a whole lot combined between the two of them. And I think that, it has a lot to do with the rest kind of just letting them play, I feel like. Do you think that will be a factor in the game down the stretch when refs may have to blow the whistle?
Man, that's going to be interesting. Right now, I would say no, because it just seems like that this is the type of game where the refs are going to just let them decide how this game is going to finish. Because right now, both teams, again, just doing a great job. And as we say that, we get a foul on the side. But look, for the most part, I mean, it's still pretty good defense right there, and I think it could have went either way. But I think for the most part, look, the refs are going to kind of let these guys play. And look, it's been a competitive game thus far, and so I would say no. I don't think the refs are going to have a hand in this at the end.
Oh, we'll see. We'll just see what happens, and we've seen that play a handful of times tonight with different results. So have we seen it not be called foul before? This happened being a little more contact than previous. As you see Todd Golden there on the sideline, and you see Missouri head coach Dennis Gates there. What do you think that both sides said to their teams coming out of halftime as far as adjustments and things like that go, Rico?
Well, I think as far as Florida, look, I just have not been very impressed with what they're doing as far as sets. I do like the fact that Missouri is kind of running a little bit of a junk defense, so shout out to Sniper J as we get and one.
Jackson Glenn.
Oh, good.
Foul.
Yeah.
And that is Jimmy Honecker hitting the free throw and the second basket opportunity here.
And going back to now shifting focus, I should say, to Missouri, and I think that with them, the silly turnovers, okay, because they had a couple silly turnovers trying to throw these lobs and stuff like that. And look, man, It's not the and one mixtape. All right, you're trying to win a game here in the SEC, and look, we're going in the hoop stereo. Like, this stuff right here is for the open run. Some of these turnovers are just inexcusable.
Man, dating yourself with the and one reference there, Rico, but I understand that. I appreciate it. As someone who grew up watching that, I appreciate it myself. What was the equivalent of and one is today? I don't even know if that's like a thing. I don't know, man. Don't know. The kids don't know what and one. If you don't, look it up.
You gotta Google it. Google. If you know, you know.
All right. If you know, you know. But you should know what and one. It was something. I think Glenn picking up his second foul in just maybe a minute or so. So more free throws here from Missouri as we're seeing the refs start to make their presence felt in this one. Maybe trying to get things in order, perhaps with the physicalness we saw in the first half, trying to calm that down as Jafet Towns at the line for the Tigers.
And B-Ron, it's been chippy, but not that chippy. I mean, I haven't really seen too many conversations that look like that they're getting out of hand, but I do see maybe where the refs kind of want to nip it in the bud. So,
yeah, Rico, I agree with you. I don't think it's been, like you said, too intense to the point where the refs have to step in and get things under control necessarily, as Towns stays perfect on the line, from the line in the game.
What? Oh, I was going to say, sorry to cut you, B-Ron.
No, you're fine.
I thought it reminds me of Rasheed Wallace, and he would come with the wrestling belt, and he would say, look, they're just two teams playing hard, my man. That's exactly what you got. Just two teams playing hard. That's all it is.
That's it. It's great basketball on display here in the SEC tonight, as we got one conference game, another conference game going on later on in the evening. There'll be Mountain West action between the New Mexico Lobos and the San Diego State Aztecs. That's going to be a fun one. I really like New Mexico. I was a big fan of Ireland early, and they were my pick to win the conference. I don't know what's going to happen this season, but they were my pick to win the conference.
And you know what I like?
Man, his third foul now. Sorry to cut you off, Rico, but
you got it.
Ashton Glenn picked up 3 fouls in 3 consecutive possessions down the floor for Florida, and now it's getting to the point where he might have to spit here soon.
Yeah, it's amazing how the fouls have kind of picked up. But I was going to say that with New Mexico, man, it's a great place to visit if you've ever got a chance to head out there. So, very nice.
On my list. My friend. There's a steal. The Tigers get the ball back, and now the other way. 2 points and the lead, thanks to the quick transition offense and Keyshawn Burkhalter there.
You know, and we talked about this with Florida. I think that they're only giving up about 57 points a game. We'll go back and take a look. But look, they are one of the better defensive teams, and this is actually the type of game that they'd like to be in. Obviously, they'd like to pick it up from a scoring standpoint.
Yeah, they are the best defensive team in the nation, as a matter of fact. You are right. 57.7 points per game allowed as a defense. That is impressive no matter how you slice it in. Missouri on the other side of that, they have 70.7 points per game allowed as a defense. So if Florida can do just enough to, score more, I mean, obviously win the game, but that's how that works. But still, like you said, you need to get the offensive production to be there in order for it to really matter.
And that's the thing with them. I mean, they just really haven't figured it out on both sides of the ball, okay? Because you need to score points, and you also need to stop, folks as well. It's two things that have to happen in these games, and Florida just hasn't done a good job this season of figuring that out.
Yeah, there's in transition, Mr. Gator, Trey Willis throwing it down.
And that'll help you figure it out.
Yes, absolutely. That was figured out immensely. 46-45. Florida back out in front. Now Towns wide open lane for him, and he's going to lay it up and get those points right back. He said, nope, I'm taking the lead right back out of my way.
It's just nice, B-Ron, when you got your Porsche and you can just drive it whenever you want to. I just feel like that's what happens with Towns out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Go get it whenever he wants to. And Rico, you mentioned the scoring a minute ago of Florida, lack thereof, I should say. And they're not doing a whole lot of scoring themselves. You mentioned it earlier, near the bottom in points per game. But want to take a minute to give you guys the opportunity. shout out something you want to say to the world here in SimWorld in the YouTube chat. Get those shout outs out. Rico, do you have the chat handy to call out some who are watching us here tonight on YouTube?
Of course I do.
I can do it.
So I got Biff Markham, I got Red Bud, I got Hasbin Kazoos. Hopefully I said that correctly, my man. Coach Braden Berry in the chat is... Gosh, we're kind of scrolling back through here. We got the small man. Got a lot of people in here. Coach Dre Pope, if I didn't say that already. So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, a lot of people in here. Yeah, I saw some Midoriya in here. I see Juan Bazale in here. There's so many people in here. Thank you all for tuning in. I see Montpica in here as well. Thank you all for tuning in. Wherever you're watching us across all of our platforms, all, 7, 8 of them. A lot of them. But we're everywhere, man. Got eyes all over the place and want more eyes on us, as well as that three-pointer. Great shot there from Kyron Bella.
Man, looked like you earlier, man, when we got a chance to play some basketball before the production.
Hey, sometimes you gotta let it fly a little bit, right? Why not? Why not, man? As a wise man once said, why not let it fly? And of course, Jackson Glenn did not do that. Probably not his game, though. Instead, gives it up to Messena Warnick, and Warnick gets to go.
We talked about him earlier. I like his size, man. It's just him carving out a niche for how he can be more effective, I think, just for his team offensively.
Yeah, and there's an answer on the three-pointer right there. 1-point lead for the Gators, and the Zoo is really excited out there. You see them in the student section, the Zoo over there. Always happy to be involved here and giving their guys a lot to cheer about here for guys in the court.
The effort has been there for Missouri, and it's been uncharacteristic defensively for a team that struggled, but man, I've been thoroughly impressed.
Really impressive. There's a big basket there from the Tigers. They take the lead back now. Just a little over 10 minutes left. Not quite at the minute mark yet. But getting close to it. 12:25 left here in the game. Now Florida is going to find some room here to score again on the possession and take the lead back. Missouri's defense on this one's been really good. Pass to the corner. Willis. No good.
They're doing a great job as far as shifting defenses. That time they looked to go into a 3-2, and there's another silly turnover from Missouri.
Yeah, the pass was good. The pass was a good idea. Execution was the issue. Trey Willis not able to score, but does call the foul on Honecker, his second of the day. Willis can't tie or take the lead with these two free throws right here. And Willis so far on the night from the free throw line, having himself actually his first attempts from the line all game.
Interesting, too, for a player that likes to play with physicality and enforcer. We talked about him just being a guy that MMA background. So if you ever need to go through the dark alley, the guy you want to walk with. So
yeah, exactly. Willis unable to hit the first one. Would like to have that one back, but luckily we get one more chance here to tie the game up. And these are free throws. We saw it in the game earlier today, the Miami Florida State game, where free throws really kind of came to be an important part of it down the stretch. Willis does with the second one. It does tie the game up at least.
Was it Bianco? Yeah, I think he struggled really down the stretch of that game. And man, I tell you what, I was thrown off by that one because I thought that Miami, was going to come out and just play a little bit more inspired than Florida State, especially with what's going on with both coaches and just the response that Florida State University had when news broke that Leonard Hamilton was likely to step down. But the energy was totally different. And so I just got to give Florida State a lot of credit for the way that they went out there with effort and just really showing everybody that, look, our season is not over. We may not be the hottest team in the country, but hey, we put something good on our resume.
Yeah, and that's a big win for Florida State because Miami, again, yes, they have not played up to their lofty expectations coming into the season as champions last season in the hoops area and doing what they were supposed to do this season. But they're still defending champions, and they're on the rise in the ACC. They served all the way up to second place in the conference. So they are right there back in the conversation, in my opinion, Rico. All things getting hot at the right time. We talk about it all the time, Rico.
Absolutely, and I just think that one of the stories that just really a lot of people are missing is that they are playing inspired basketball for Jim Larinaga. I think that this is a team that's gotten energized, and I think that they've known that he was going to step away, and I think that they want to get this last one for their coach.
Yeah, I believe they knew about it since back in December, but it finally went public a few weeks ago. It was announced.
Yeah.
As Honecker picked up his third foul now, fourth team foul, and Warnick going back to the free throw line here for the Gators to make it a 4-point lead here.
And I was going to say, B-Ron, just one last point about them. They're one of the other teams, one of two teams that I think that you just don't want to see in Hoopsteria. I like them, and I also like Michigan as well. Thought a nice post, I think it was in Bleacher Report there, and the writer was pointing out that was it Lorenzo Phenom, 9 double-doubles. I think he's third in the country. And so, look, they got a ton of talent inside, might be able to beat you up, and I just think that the M&Ms, so to speak, maybe everybody should start to eat the M&Ms because they might be some real bracket busters coming here in Hoopsteria.
They might be, and for some reason, I can't quite put my finger on why, but I'm not sold on Michigan like you are. I can't figure out why, Rico.
Yeah.
But it's just not there for me. I do agree with Miami, though. Definitely agree with Miami.
Yeah.
If you have not checked it out, guys, Rico's SWBA today, where he talked about all of those things that we're talking about right now. So go check that out. Give it a listen if you haven't already. And give that another look as well. Flying through the sky and throwing that one down. That was Kyran Bello. 6-point lead, or 5-point lead rather, for the Gators here, and they've made their mark, and both teams really have on the defensive end of this one.
Yeah, you like sweets, B-Ron? Because he certainly is the cookie monster. We just go see him if we want some sweets, because that was a nice rip right there. It's nothing but cookies.
I have a bad sweet tooth.
He's the guy who
take all the sweets, absolutely. Meyer gets his second foul. We've seen a lot of fouls on Missouri's side coming out on the floor. It feels like the last 3-4 possessions now, we've seen it end with a trip to the line for one of the Florida Gators. And now this one is Malachi Amos. His first time here at the line in this one.
You know what it is, B-Ron? I think that defensively this team has used a lot of energy, right? Because they're playing just out of their minds defensively. And I think that they played with a ton of energy, and right now they're tired, and you're starting to see that discipline kind of go away on the defensive end. Suddenly they're starting to reach a little bit more. Suddenly as they go up and contest, they're not going straight up and down and staying vertical. They're kind of leaning into these players, and they're getting fouls.
Yeah, when you do those things, when you lean into the guys that are taking the shots, when you try to reach in for the ball more at inopportune times, you're going to get called for fouls more times than not. You got to be aware of that. And if you're Coach Dennis Gates, how do you kind of get them to get back on track on defensively, especially? Well, there's a foul on Burkhalter here. There's the Cardinal Burkhalter. Someone might have doing a little dancey dance, and we are getting treated to a solid defensive effort from the Gators, especially on the side of the ball here now, Rico.
Yeah, well, where's Maestro at, man? I know he would love the charge card right there because that was beautiful defense. But, going back to your point with Missouri, man, here's what I'm going to say about that. I think that this is where you maybe call a timeout. Maybe you can throw some fresh bodies out there because they've been playing with a ton of energy against this Florida team, and I just think it's starting to wear them down a little bit.
Yeah, and the energy is great, and we are going to get that timeout you mentioned. Gates is going to use one here. They've got 3 left. We're going to take a little break, folks, but be right back.
Ladies, we ask your forgiveness. Please forgive our immaturity, our outbursts of tacky compliments. Forgive our browser history. Forgive our hormones taking control of us. Forgive us for thinking an open shirt is the ultimate weapon of appeal. Forgive us for opening our beers like primates. Forgive for taking a no as a yes. For insisting on playing a guitar that doesn't exist. And please forgive us for never washing our hands. Ever! Schneider, the beer with the exact maturity for the man who's in the process.
SimWorld, 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 SimWorld.
It's a place where average Joe can work on his craft and grow. Say you the new magic, yo. Well, why you ain't passing though? Better get you a basket, bro. Cause this ain't no Madden, no. This is real ball life from prep to pro. Kamal Park, this ain't no fashion show. It's the opportunity for you to be the one to shoot the three. In the clip, game on the line. They like, who is he? Must be the 2-3 or 2-4. The one twice. Coach saying do more. Scouts like that boy nice. Drive up the price, push up the stock, build up your name, stir up the pot, piss off the eye. As a player or a coach, here it is, dog. SimWorld, this is your shot.
Yo, yells.
SimWorld.
You know your boy gotta get some of this, right?
SimWorld.
Rick Blaze.
SimWorld.
Ladies love. Let's go.
I be on some ballers, trying to get my hands on a scholarship. Pretty young thing already knew my name, said she wanna try out on a scholarship. Hold up, let me PG it. Porn go past, but you know I'm gon' do it. Podcast fast, big Bob on the snacks, and you know I'm in my bag when March can't beat it. Baby, I be tripping with my foes, tipping, shot out to the ballers. No bull like I'm Pippin. Rick Blaze hit him with the freestyle. SimWorld Hoops, man, them boys wild.
SimWorld, 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 SimWorld.
And then when their lead expanded, they turned into a highlight machine, except for the problem was there was no film in the camera.
Welcome back, everyone. And Rico, we've been talking about it throughout the second half here. But really all game. Defense, both sides are really good, but Florida's, in particular in the second half, really picked up. Missouri now has 10 turnovers in the game so far. Florida only has 4. You stand to do a lot right when you're not taking care of the ball, when you're forcing your opponent to make those mistakes instead of you.
Yeah, I mean, and that, yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, there's just really nothing else to be said right there, B-Ron. And, you know, Missouri, like I said, they've really struggled with this throughout the season, with these turnovers and things like that. And just, Florida's just had a bit more execution. But I think for, again, to Missouri to get back into this thing, they need to throw some fresh bodies out there. They just look like a team that is supremely fatigued right now.
Yeah, and tonight Jimmy Honaker and David Duffy are the ones leading the team with 3 apiece. But Kyron Bello has been one of the key pieces for Florida so far in this one, having himself an impressive day. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a little bit of everything, and also doing it all and shooting a really good percentage. 66% from the field, Rico.
Yeah, and that right there comes down to just being efficient and getting to your spots. I mean, this is one of the things that I like to see with players who just get to it. It reminds me of something that Carmelo Anthony would say, just players that just get to it, and look, he just got to it today.
Got to it indeed. Jackson Glenn got it a rebound, skied up to grab that one out of the sky, and he's home trying to score. Instead, gets it rejected. More great defense. They're gonna keep saying it because it keeps happening. Jimmy Honaker with the block, and now Florida gonna take a timeout and talk things over after the block from Honaker. Then a bit of a surprise, Rico, to see that happen.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise, B-Ron, but is it going to be a surprise for who wins New Mexico at San Diego State coming up? I think that that's going to be a great game, so make sure that you stay posted here on the network for this game.
Yeah, stay tuned here at CBS. There's one more game in the night, another conference game as conference play winds down and we get ready for the next phase, which is conference championship time. Game of the week in the ACC. Virginia Tech and Louisville are going to be playing each other tomorrow at 7 p.m. on SimWorld TV. And Rico, that is going to be a fantastic game. Game of the week. I mentioned it. These are two teams that are in the top of the ACC. A pivotal game for both teams, to be sure.
It is a pivotal game. It's going to be the matchup of the birds, right? You got the Hokies and then you got the Cardinals. But
yeah, Hokie is a bird. I always forget that.
I always forget that. The Hokies. And so anyway, I think it's interesting, man. I was looking at just some ESPN stuff here. Just got a chance to kind of DVR it, but just a lot of analysts don't really believe in Travion Novick and this Virginia Tech team. I think that they could maybe make some noise, but they have been a little bit up and down, and so let's see what happens. I mean, it's going to be elite competition. I think that conference is super competitive. I'm just looking forward to that game.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that one plays out. And Dylan Bannon looking to get more active here in this one. Him and Towns have been doing a good brunt of the work for Missouri scoring-wise anyway. And, and again, looking at Dylan Bannon, actually, Dylan Bannon's got a double-double, 11, now 13 points and 10 rebounds in the game for Bannon. And Towns, 18 points, leading the way for the Tigers. Done a lot of great stuff tonight, has both Bannon and Towns. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast, too. Also worked really well together.
Yeah, they're so just the grown-ups in the building for Missouri. I just think that they're just so mature with the way that they approach the game, and it's just no wasted calories with it. I don't think that there's one point, if we look back at the highlights between both of them, where we go, oh, that was a terrible shot. No, it was terrible. No, they get to their spots, and they make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. And ironically, Ronnie mentioned Jordan, because one of them is a younger player on the team, the freshman is Towns. And Bannon is the upperclassman, the junior on this Tigers squad here. Missouri, chance to tie, and they do right there. Big basket there. David Blackman tying the game is 58 apiece. Back at square one here, Rico. 6:35 left in the ballgame.
You know what the difference was, B-Ron? They got the timeout, they regrouped, right? And now they have their energy level back. And I think that that's what it was. They just needed to make some adjustments. Let's talk about it. Let's get back to getting to this max energy level that we were at.
Energy, always look after anything and how you play on the court. Great move! Well, yeah, Dylan Bannon. David driving there. My, oh my. Nipping in the post to get that one to go.
Yeah, he just put the defender on his back and took him for a ride. That was exactly what that was. That was a terrific spin cycle.
Phenomenal finish. Now is home. They try and repeat the process. Gets a foul called instead on Honecker. His fourth. Look out now. Danger zone. Honecker, one more. He's out of here. Tyshawn Eastholm going to the line to try and tie the game back up for Florida. And Eastholm at the line, 48% free throw shooter on the year. Tonight, been pretty good from there. 3 of 4 from the line.
Yeah, and solid. And I mean, that's what you need when it comes down to closing out these type of games. You need these kind of contributions. And I was just going to go back to Honecker, man. He's been playing at a high level here. I mean, this is a guy that, look, he's a senior on this team at 6'10", great size with him. But, look, he's a player that he gives this team a lot defensively. So if he does foul out, in fact, I think he's maybe the best defender on the team, actually.
Yeah, and that would be a big blow for Missouri.
Best interior defender, maybe. I got him down for just playing at a high level defensively here, so let's go back and look at that. But, yeah, I mean, I think it would be a huge loss if he comes out of the game.
Yeah, hey, you were cooking with that one too, though. Whoa, but look who's cooking right there. The Fed Towns, or Dylan Bannon rather. The Bannon right there, cooking with that one. Yeah. My goodness.
It reminds me of that television show that came on back in the day with Emerald, right, where he's just cooking up. That's exactly what this young man's doing. He's just cooking up recipes.
Absolutely. And there's another block. Missouri passes the corner.
Hey!
Knocking it down. That time, Fed Towns.
Hey, have some stuffing here for Thanksgiving. Yeah, another stuff. Terrific block.
Love to see it. He's home now with it. Gets rejected again. Missouri on the fast break. Up score. Not able to score. Eastham with the box out. They're grabbing the rebound, limiting the one chance there at the hoop. Now, Florida. And their dry spell here as they've hit a wall. Warnick out on the perimeter with it. Over to Willis. Gets the screen from Eastham. And there's an illegal screen now. Eastham second foul of the day. He was good. And then he moved. And maybe you call it a flop a little bit, maybe on Berghalter's part, but regardless, it happened.
Yeah, he was trying to create some more open space, and this is what's going on with Florida right now. They've just been rocked with just the run here that Missouri is on, and they actually need a timeout right now.
Yeah, now Florida needs one bad, but instead, Missouri's going to get more points.
They got to go all the timeout. Yeah.
Thanks to Keyshawn Berghalter, and now Todd Golden going to come out, try to get his tears under control here. Going to take a break, folks. Right back for the conclusion of this time. 2-3 left in the game.
Well, Brian, jerseys dream of retirement.
Your jersey's dream now?
A special time when my jerseys can look back and reflect on all they've accomplished in their careers as my jerseys.
Kobe, I got to go.
A time for my jerseys to relax and pursue other interests, hobbies, handicrafts, painting, woodworking, establishing a multinational entertainment conglomerate with designs on dominating the field of animation, music, and cinema.
Your jerseys are doing all of that?
Well, 8 is more into decoupage, but 24 is quite ambitious. Quite ambitious.
I guess I'm walking to Milwaukee.
Welcome back, everyone. The run here the Tigers went on has them a lead, and they're sitting a little pretty with 3:50 left in the contest. They got sparked by defense and Javette Towns, Dylan Bannon combining their powers to really make it work here.
Yeah.
As that's not going to help things. A miss in the corner there from Trey Willis. But Missouri back up the floor with it, trying to score, and they do once again. That's Burkhalter.
And hasn't it been to B-Ron with just the way that they've been carving him up? Like, it's just been a mix of transition, and it's just been terrific, like, individual moves, plays, the step-throughs. Everything's been beautiful for Missouri right now.
Yeah, everything's really working for them. That's what makes it so fun, really, to see how this run really kind of came about. They're getting it done on both sides of the floor and doing everything, really. Now Warnick going to pick up his second foul of the contest, as Missouri have a chance to get the 70 points on the day. And this is where the lack of scoring from Florida is really going to hurt them, Rico.
Totally agree. And this is where I think you love the defense, but offensively, what were we talking about? I said, look, it looks like a real mess on the offensive end. This team doesn't have an identity on the offensive end now. They've been good enough because they've been able to just lock down enough teams and get the wins that way. But I think that that's really going to be the issue for this team, especially as Hoopsteria comes a little bit closer. Like, they have to get an identity, and I'm not sure if this team is going to be able to get one this late in the season.
Normally by this time, Rico, you know who you are, right? Yeah. You know who you are, what you can do well. Florida, they know they can play defense really well, and that's great. But the name of the game is still scoring.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to find a way to get some buckets.
Got to find a way to get some buckets, but you also got to find a way to get active in SimWorld, get engaged with what we're doing here. Doesn't take long, 5 minutes out of your day to get involved, catch up on everything, and be immersed in what we're doing here. That I've said before, and I've said it to some of the players here in SimWorld and everybody in general. But the key to enjoying this for what it is really immersing yourself in everything going on in the world. It's called SimWorld for a reason, as I like to say. You gotta get immersed in this to really enjoy it to the fullest extent that you can.
Yep, you're right. I mean, you hit it right on the head. So make sure that you sign up with the Discord and get engaged.
Yes, exactly. Look, we give you all of the keys to success here. We tell you what to do. Get engaged in the media feed. You get engaged in the streams, and that is how you will reap the benefits here. But if you don't do those things, it's just not going to happen. And that's, well, the long and short of it here, really, people. 70 to 59 here. We resume play. 2:40 left in the game. Florida needs to find a way to get buckets here soon. They gotta find their find something to work in their favor, man.
Yeah, I mean, Florida, again, man, when you look at the offensive end, I mean, they just don't have a plan. They just go into it just trying to figure out, okay, are we going to the post? Are we looking to work the ball around the perimeter? Like, the sets just look stagnated. It's really everything's by chance right now for the B-Ron.
Yeah, there's a good basket on the interior from Trey Willis. Catching the ball, turning right around and realizing, oh, Coach right here. Let me go ahead and score. That's what you want to see. Towns on the screen here. One-on-one with Warren. You see the double team coming over. Back over. Swinging it around here. The Drappin. Back to Towns. Shot clock down to 5 here. Double comes. Back to the high perimeter. No good. Good shot, though, from Burkhalter. Good look. The Florida trying to score right back. Unable to. Warnick on the glass. Second chance, good.
Big man. I see you. And like I said before, I mean, I think that could be a key for their offense if he can just kind of unlock his superpower offensively. But yeah, Florida, look, they've got to figure something out. They've got to come into these possessions with a plan, especially when it comes down to late game execution.
Absolutely. And now is when you need to do it the most here. Trailing late, And you're really, I mean, they're knocking on the door. They're not down by much. They still got plenty of time to figure it out, but it turns quick. Trey Willis attacking, can't get it. Under a minute left in this one. 70-63. Missouri trying to hang on and snap their 3-game losing streak, folks. Florida, number 22 team in the nation, on upset alert in the final minute here. Bannon trying to score inside and does. Wow.
Whew. I guess when you got a Porsche, B-Ron, like I said, it feels nice to go ahead and drive your Porsche. He's just been able to go anywhere he wants to today.
I would like to stole the grab too. Still a Bannon there. Yeah. Rebound from Traffin, and the shot clock's been turned off, which means now Missouri can dribble this thing out. And I lied. We're gonna get a foul push-off actually on Dylan Bannon. Trey Willis.
Why?
Getting the call there and getting free throw as a result. That's a huge time there for Enrico.
Why? I mean, that is just, again, that counts as a turnover, and this is the issue with Missouri, continuing to do the silliness. That was a silly turnover.
Yeah, we saw it towards the end of the first half with the foul. That ended up in free throws.
Yeah.
But doesn't matter. Trey Willis missed the free throw. Missouri is going to come out of this one on top with the win. They will pick up their 3rd win in SEC play this season. Snap their 3-game losing streak. 72-63. Winners at home. They upset the number 22 Florida Gators as they dropped to 14-12 on the year. 6-4 in the SEC. One more game coming up. Mountain West Conference action. New Mexico and what is the team's name? San Diego State. I got it. For Rico, I'm B-Ron. Have a good rest of your night, folks. See ya in Game 2 here on CBS.
Good night, everybody.
There's no better time than now. See the game, be the game.
Cause being without you, I just can't stand. In the morning when I wake, I'm yours. And when you're gone away, I want you even more. I'm stuck on the thought of you. I'm sick like a caught the flu. I just wanna walk with you and tell you how I see. These guys, I cry black tears whenever you're away from me. I'm trying not to lose my mind, 'cause inside you set me free.
Hey folks, welcome to the second half of our SimWorld U doubleheader tonight. We are coming from Viejas Arena, better known as the Pit, New Mexico, 14-11 on the season. They are taking on a 15-10 San Diego State squad. And two really balanced, bruising teams going at it tonight. And you got my own good self, E. Lava behind the mic, joined by Rick Blaze. And we were just talking, folks, we expect to see, I don't know what, Rick, a WWE match breakout here? What's going to happen between these two teams? I mean, you don't have like a skyscraper on either squad, but guys go 235, 240, 230, 6'8", 6'9", and I just think we're going to see physics, bodies colliding tonight.
Yeah, in the words of Jim Ross, it's going to be a slobber knocker.
Well, it's underway now. We're on Steve Fisher Court. Michigan coach, longtime coach here at New Mexico as well. Now coached by Richard Pitino. Richard Pitino, of course, the son of the more famous Rick Pitino, but Richie carving out his own legacy and reputation here in New Mexico. And both of these teams have aspirations of postseason play, making a little bit of a run. And some shooting like that is going to help San Diego State on the board first, and not necessarily a great three-point shooting team, but percentage-wise for the most part, but that in right there.
Serious question, really quick. I know we're in the game, I got a serious question.
Oh, dude.
Who do you think gets more girls, Richard Pitino or Rick Pitino? And the answer is, I know, whatever answer it is, it's by a landslide, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, Papa Pitino is doing pretty well in Louisville, so I can't imagine it's gotten any worse in New York City. Well, on the two possessions we just missed there, both teams got real easy looks at the bucket. That is Jode Platts, the 6'9" senior from Sparks, Nevada. Nevada kid playing here for San Diego State, and wins them out to a 5-2 lead early on. That's averaging 13.4 per game, best on the team. And as you can see, both these teams, a very slow, deliberate pace here. I mean, I kind of feel like the first squad to 40 might win this thing.
It's definitely a low scoring affair. I think 55-60, good block.
Great defense.
BYOB event.
The pace has been what we expected. Actually, the first couple of possessions, the defense wasn't there, but that all changed in a moment. Dre Ryder, the 6'8" freshman, rising up. Swatting that shot out of bounds. Dre Ryder leads the Aztecs in blocks on the season.
Yeah, really good athlete out on the court, can guard several positions because of his athleticism. Good guy to have with him.
Long three, well short right there. Here come the Aztecs looking to stretch out for a little bit of an early lead. Keep in mind, the 5-point lead in this one, like a 10 or 15-point in another game potentially. Once again, Platts going to work. Nice effort to get himself over on the baseline, but couldn't get it to go. Yeah.
Shout out to my mom and my nieces and nephews going to CBS. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
She's watching right now.
Hi to the Blazes out there talking about parents. Shooting Rick Pitino. That shot wouldn't go down either. Good looks last few possessions, but nothing happening for either squad. And Ray Ryder tries to kick it inside, but turns it over.
Here's my guy right here.
Damari Gay, 6'9" senior, 240-pounder out of Arizona. Gay is averaging a team-high 14.1. Looking to get on track in this one, but instead it's Draco Whitford gets to the bucket. Can't get it to go, but there. Ireland early. Sophomore sharpshooter. It's a bucket. Gets a three to go. Ties things up. That's Early's 54th made three of the year. But once again, wide open down low. Frustrated. Coach Pitino not liking what he sees there. Jode Platts is just somehow getting to the rack unmolested. And it's going to be something that the Lobos are going to have to correct if they want to come out here and win their 15th game of the season tonight.
We have a really good question for real. Who is the most popular New Mexico basketball player?
Oh, man. Well, possession now. I'm tempted to say whoever hits a game winner tonight might be the one, but
in all of Lobo history.
All of Lobo history. Yes. Oh, I thought we were talking about the current roster.
In all of Lobo history.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm thinking, there was during the Steve Alford era. Trying to come up with guys might have really kind of starred then. I'm blanking on more current guys. I do have a guess, though. I know my legendary Lakers and Michael Cooper from New Mexico Lobos. So I'm going to go with Coop. One of the finest defensive players, by the way, that the league ever saw. Don't sleep on Michael Cooper and those 80s Showtime Lakers. I know he's not Magic or even Worthy or whoever, but Simo Traore, charge right there. But yeah, I'm going Coop. But who you got, Rick?
I like the Coop. I was thinking maybe Danny Granger.
Well, great player, great college player too.
But maybe he's not.
I mean, Granger, almost like his memory in retrospect is a little bit diminished, I think, because he just, didn't have a spectacular pro career, I don't think. Didn't rack up the rings Michael Cooper did, right? If you count that. Oh, boy. Once again, by the way, to get back to this one just for a moment, somebody needs to put a lock on Joe Platts. 6 early points for him. He has been unstoppable down low for the Aztecs, but it's looking right now the Lobos could use Granger and Cooper suit up, get off the bench here.
I got the answer now. I got it. The most popular Lobo all time, Rebecca Lobo.
That might be true. 2 schools too, UConn and here. So Mexico trailing by 3. San Diego State ball. That's gives it up. Looks to add an assist to his tally. And still gets an offensive board back up and in. 8
points. That on your head, boy.
Go Platts. Wow. Which is 13.4 per game. He's about on double digits. Points so far early in this one.
Yeah, man, this team of New Mexico trying to put this man in the first team tonight by himself.
Trouble dribbling leads to a long shot by Early, but he can't get that one to go. And no second chances for New Mexico. And
terrible for New Mexico.
Team, whole fans liking what they're seeing. They have taken control of what been pegged to be a low-scoring contest from the start. Yeah. San Diego State up by 5 with the ball, and once again Platts has it. This time a double team immediately comes over. Shot clock winding down now, and he's going to have to do something with his Traore, and he gets it to go.
Hey, this 7-point lead by San Diego State seems a whole lot larger than 7.
It certainly does. I mean, Traore is just a 40% shooter from the field. He's out there more for his defense and athleticism. But a tough shot to go. There's a tough shot from Gay, and he gets that one in. And
let's go, Gay.
A little bit of a bleeding stopper from Damari Gay. Aztecs up the other way. Aztecs led by Brian Dutcher. We've been talking about Richie Pitino some tonight on the Lobo bench, but Dutcher's got San Diego State playing pretty well, and this is a very athletic team, has to be said as well. Darian Hunt, who we haven't heard much from tonight, is another outside bucket. This time it's Ryder splashes a 3. Another player, by the way, who has not shot the ball well at all this season, but everybody's feeling hot tonight for the Aztecs. But Darian Hunt, one of the best athletes in this whole college game, I think, Rick.
Yeah, and I'll say this, if San Diego State can hit the 3 ball tonight, it's going to be a long night for them. It's going to be a very long night for Mexico, San Diego State. I can predict this now. If San Diego State gets 8 3-pointers made tonight, it's going to be a blowout.
There's your over-under, folks. We're close to Vegas.
There you go.
West anyway.
Makes sense.
West anyway. 17-9. San Diego State now on top. On the floor. That does send Taz Cooper to the line. We haven't talked about Cooper yet tonight. The 6'8" sophomore out of Lake Jackson, Texas. Rick, as I frequently do, what I project to be a small town in Texas comes up on our broadcast, I go to you for knowledge. You know Lake Jackson? Done some fishing?
Absolutely. When you're heading towards certain parts of town. Back in the day, Roniel used to live out past Lake Jackson.
Producer
In an even
Roniel.
smaller town, all they did was go shop at Walmart and get into fights. That's it. That's it. And I'm sure
like I
if
know
it's something different, he would tell you something different in your ear. That's it.
I feel like I know that town. I feel like it was in Ohio when I was a kid and it moved south over the years. Nice drive inside. There is a tough finish.
Angleton, Texas is the town I'm talking about. You have to pass.
Texas.
Yes. And Lake Jackson is all that's on the way. Pearland, all of that's on the way.
Indiana State lead now by 8. Subs in the game, and there is one of them throwing it down with absolute authority. Ryder Delaney.
Don't fake the funk on the nasty dunk.
Not a lot of highlights in this game for the Lobos, but boy, that's a keeper right there. A defensive stop, a little bit of momentum going. Play the team out there in red and gray, and there you see Delaney with it up top again. Gives it up this time. Well, if you can do that, Delaney, I can do it too. Anthony Durham the second, just a freshman, 6'6". Combo guard forward. That's the bucket, and this lead is down to 4. Pelenge, however, I'm not Pelenge, excuse me. That is number 9 on the other squad, San Diego State's Mason Kellogg.
Like the cereal.
Just like the cereal. Mason like masonry. This there on this end. And up on the halfway mark of the first half, a long three, and it's in.
Got it. I think that's like 3 or 4 for San Diego State. When they get to 8, it's going to be a blowout win, I'm telling you.
Doing some good work right now, and look at this, though. Nice play. I mean, real spark has been provided by Delaney, the junior from Colorado, coming off the bench. Only averages 2.8 points per game. He's got 4. He's got New Mexico within 6.
We'll just think he wants to have more fun.
Ryder Delaney. Definitely sporting that that's more California hair than New Mexico.
Very much so.
It looks like he's settled in pretty well in Albuquerque. Delaney having a nice game tonight. One of the first players for Patino off the bench. And no production. Oh, wow.
Nice.
I don't know if I should be more impressed with that pass from Kellogg or the hang in the air to put it in from Hunt, but it's threaded the needle to get that bucket. I'm out on the floor. San Diego State has been in charge pretty much since the tip this game so far. 8-point lead, 9:55 to go when we come back to SimWorld U on CBS.
Hey guys, Gabe Pope here. You know, I've always wanted to be an NBA player all my life. SimWorld Hoops, that's the place I'm getting to live my dreams. SimWorld Hoops, baby, stop missing out. The only place where you can see the game and be the game.
Won't go. Rebound Bosch. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ.
What's this going to be? Wow! Lead pass. Stop it! Stop it! Do not do him like that! Now goes to roll. Brandon
San Diego State leading the way early. A lot of basketball left here, though. Two teams with winning records and season expectations, and there is a three that will not go for New Mexico. We've been talking about San Diego State shooting from the outside, putting it in tonight. New Mexico, Mari Gay and Ireland Early, both prolific outside shooters. We've not seen any of that so far yet tonight.
No, San Diego State has done a really good job of pushing them. Oh, one leg jump. I thought he was dirty and whiskey. No, they did a pretty good job of pushing them, those two guys off the three-point line as their best shooter. So New Mexico had to find and muster some offense. And we get those two guys going earlier. It's going to be perfect.
Broken up, and once again, Delaney recovers and puts that up in. I mean, you just have to be impressed with the effort from Ryder Delaney tonight. Mexico hanging around, and it's largely because of the big junior guard coming off the bench.
He's literally keeping him in the game.
Turnaround won't go, but right back up and in. Mason Kellogg. He too, not a big production guy in the course of the season, just 2 points per game, but on a nice night. And once again, Ryder Delaney, I don't know where Richard Pitino has been hiding him all year. He's averaged under 10 minutes per game.
The Red Rocket, Ryder Delaney.
Blonde Bomber. Ryder Delaney. Couldn't have done no matter what color you call it. Answer right there, though. That's Jameer Garth-Hubler, Rick's favorite player on the San Diego State squad, 6'9" senior. Also out of Nevada. There's a lot of Nevada-based players on the San Diego State team. Garth-Hubler, Jason Kellogg, and Jode Platts, their star, all hailing from the Silver State. A nice dish inside to Delaney, and this time he can't finish. Gets his own rebound, blocked that time.
Great second effort.
Great effort. I think that might be the first offensive rebound New Mexico's had this game, thanks to Delaney right there. Maybe they're still going right back to work. Good position inside, but that's kind of a clunky shot there from Garth-Hubler. Yay, gets good position, but that ball rolls right off the rim. San Diego State back up by 8 and looking to extend it.
Good shot here, good possession.
Subs for both teams waiting to come back in the game. It's a tough little jumper there, and it won't go. Settling a little bit more into the defensive battle we expected on top of the deliberate pace.
And right now, Western need to get more Gay, that's for sure. They need to get Gay involved pronto. Or just Delaney!
Well, timeout called by San Diego State. We are witnessing the emergence of Ryder Delaney. Junior guard has just been electric for the Lobos so far in this one. 6-point lead, however, still for San Diego State. We'll take a quick break, come right back. More action. The house right. back. San Diego State comfortably on top. New Mexico got the lead to 4 earlier. It's back up to 6 right now. Aztec ball. And right now they're handling. That's Austin Agervon. Gives it up, however, and once again down low. This is the main offensive option. Platts gets a decent look. That time he can get it to fall, however.
Yeah, I think he faked himself out. He did it once a minute.
Mexico seeing if they can build this. Oh, great fake.
Got him.
What a great fake right there. As Cooper lays it in, gets his defender up in the air. Here once again, Platts has it, going to work on a smaller defender. Just kind of bullies his way in and gets it to rattle work.
Give him that work.
San Diego State won 3 of their last 2 contests. Looking pretty good so far tonight.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty good lately. You know, no one's expecting them to, neither one of these teams actually to really, you know, cause much havoc down the stretch, but you never know. We've learned in college basketball, any team on any given night.
Yeah. Well, there's Durham on the driving dunk there. The freshman's got a couple of buckets. Looking a little bit lively tonight. Platts gives it up. I mean, he's got that position down there on the blocks basically whenever he wants it.
Yeah.
Platts calling for it again.
Look how deep he is in the paint.
Giving it to him. The shot clock down to 5 now when he gets it. Double team immediately comes over, and Platts just got to do something here. Gives it up, and hey, look at that. He picked up an assist in the bargain. It's Traore who wheels that one. Lead back up to 6 once more. Ireland early. Quiet night from early, but there's a long distance shot. Won't go from Draco Whitford. Offensive board. Gay's got it. Gives it back to Whitford. Gives it back up to Gay. And shot clock down again. Not Traore, excuse me. Shot does not go. Rebounded away by Dre Ryder. And here once again come the Aztecs. Oh, block shot. Gay got a piece of that. Gay just got that a little too far and deep right there underneath the bucket.
Yeah.
It was a good idea.
Yeah, you can't go that deep.
Clock back down to 10 here. Patient New Mexico. Really a trademark of both these teams, but gotta say they haven't used it to very much good effect here. Shot clock winding out and the ball's just stolen away.
Terrible turnover.
Would have been an and one. Early just kind of pulled up a little bit, decided not to contest that.
If you're New Mexico, you got to turn up the Jets offensively. This is not working. You need a spark plug. I thought we were going to see some more Gay, but he's not. He's all bottled up right now. Oh, got him, coach.
A little move, and Draco Whitford, freshman guard. It's his second bucket of the game as well, and cuts the lead back down to 6. But I believe you're right, Rick. I mean, I don't hate the slow, deliberate pace of the Lobos, but when it's not leading to good looks.
See, when they get offensive rebound, that's uncalled for. You can't. You had 2 guys under the paint. You can't let that guy get offensive rebound.
That's Platts. Platts is getting largely whatever he wants so far in this one. Side shot doesn't splash that time for State, and here come the Lobos once again. And hey, look at that! I mean, that's kind of a transition bucket. I'm going to call it. Draco Whitford lays it in. Timeout called on the court. Just 2:26 to go here in the first half. And there you get a shot of Road Platts having a nice night tonight. Platts, we're going to stick with it. Oh, Rick, look what we got coming up. Look on your screens, folks. EMs. It's about to rain some EMs. You know how we do it around here with EM giveaways. It all comes down to people are watching. You want to get EMs for referrals. Signing bonus for new head coaches. I saw we got some new people coming in today. You know somebody who is a hoops head basketball fan, got to tell them about SimWorld. The only place, of course, where you can see the game and be the game. And
Don't play
This
yourself.
game right now, you got double-digit scorers already for both squads. Jode Platts, that wasn't going to surprise anybody. You told him that before the game, that he would already be double figures, 11 points. We head into halftime, but Ryder Delaney having the game of his junior year so far tonight, I would say. 10 points.
Hey, E, y'all came for Gay, but you better get this Delaney. You know what I'm saying? Give it to him, Delaney.
Mari Gay, 4 points, 3 boards, and a block. He's been solid, but Delaney in the spark. Oh, pretty little finish right there. Sima Traore, again, he is not. Commonly thought of as an offensive threat, but he's looked really smooth attacking the bucket. 6 points for Traore in this one.
Y'all been underusing him all season.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, you know, a lot of players, a lot of people, a lot of fans often forget these guys, even on the worst teams, are the best players in their area. They're the best of the best from around the world. And so I know they may look pedestrian against other teams and other players, but they would smoke you in the New York minute on the court.
Every last person you ever played against. Deep three, and there is just a textbook Mexico wasted possession. Before the shot clock out, but I'm not sure to what effect. San Diego State tried to push it and didn't get any better result there, but I will take that from the Aztecs, whereas for the Lobos, I just don't feel like it's working, even though 6 points, not an insurmountable lead by any stretch, as Ireland early tries to cut that, but can't. There's another rebound. Comes off. San Diego State's Jode Platts. The whale of the game so far. And open three look. Ryder can't get that one to go.
Well, they're going to have the open three all night long, so it's going to be there. They can, like I said, they can get it going. They can really pull away.
Another rip, and Eladio de Gracia in the game, the freshman from Mexico. He gets it. Traore targets his own rebound. Oh, de Gracia, what a pass to Ajavan. Freshman found the sophomore, and it led to 2 points for dramatic fashion there. Final seconds now of this first half. If there was ever a time for New Mexico not to push the pace, it's this, and Early does bring it back out. Let's see if he tries to find a teammate, or is he just going to gun this? He's going to gun it.
Terrible possession.
Does not go. Hey, there's been more than a few of those for the Lobos in that first half, Rick. I think Coach Pitino is going to be happy to take his team into the locker room and a little bit of a tongue lashing and come back out, hopefully with new energy, maybe even a new game plan, because from early on, San Diego State jumped out to a lead and have just not rescinded it. Ray Ryder splashed some early threes. Sina Traore going to work, but I think Jode Platts, he's got to be your star man, this Aztec squad, at least through that first half.
Yeah, and if you're the Lobos, you may be considering giving Rebecca a call right now in real talk, because you're really struggling on the offensive end. Your two guys that you look for points, and Mr. Gay, it's not. And Early is not going off for you, working very well. Delaney's playing really well as a team. You're lethargical on defense, and you can't find any chemistry on offense. You need to play a whole lot better if you want to have a chance in the second half.
Mexico just 1 for 7 from 3. Let's see if they can hit any more accurately
stop shooting in New Mexico. That means stop shooting.
See the game, be the game.
Mom gave you a whole bag of Doritos just because your fish died? Here, boy, I won't hurt you. Bath time.
Billy, are you sharing those Doritos like I asked you to?
He's okay.
Yeah, okay. Any views expressed are the opinion of the guest. It's not a representation because the programming reflects that pole. Politicking with 4 eyes, it's really no competition. Suffocating with the dope, you know I be twisting. Real ninjas out in the field, now we cotton picking. Not to mention our intention to cover topics and many of the subjects. I got more lines than the deli at the Publix. With King Pharaoh, pole politicking, I'm pistol whipping. Rappers jeopardizing hip-hop position. My opposition, intuition, prediction like writers on The Simpsons. To witness the glimpses from higher up dimensions. My bitches be fighting gremlins like Phoebe Cakes. Let me cook, stove top oven, easy bakes. Hydroponic with them seaweed flakes. Yeah, these rappers started from the bottom, power bottom. TD Jakes, unfollowed. Talking about have you ever been swallowed? Regardless of race, color, or creed, you get Apollo'd. We pole, politicking, ticking. We straight pole, politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that pole, politicking, ticking. This for the pole, politicking, ticking. We straight pole, politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that pole, politicking, ticking.
Hey, we are back. Second half just about to get underway here. Jode Platts of San Diego State, he's leading the way. 11 points, 4 boards, 10 points off the bench from Ryder Delaney from New Mexico, but they're facing an 8-point deficit. They do have the ball right here. Gay looking to get going, but just doesn't quite have it dialed in so far tonight. Damari Gay now 2 for 5 from the field.
Yeah, it's been a rough night for him and the rest of New Mexico line.
Jumper there from Jode Platts. Nothing coming too hard tonight from Mr. Platts.
Platts showing off the whole repertoire. Inside, offensive rebound, and he got a little jump shot.
You can play, Platts. San Diego State came to play tonight. They now lead by 10. Biggest lead of the game. That is a really tough shot from Gay. I like what the Lobos are doing here. Going through Damari Gay, your best post player, but I feel like I feel like I can count.
You're too much going on.
I feel like I can count on one hand the number of like really great looks that New Mexico has gotten tonight. Now credit San Diego State's defense for some of that, to be sure. But
I think they're force feeding a little bit, and Gay's probably frustrated, so he's kind of taking ill-advised shots. And so we need to play more basketball. That was a good shot. It just didn't go in.
Just didn't go.
You want to get to the line. You might need to get to the line, get some rub off screens or something to get them going. Sometimes you got to see the ball go in the basket. You can get your confidence up.
Well, all 3 possessions the second half. It's been Damari Gay. That's about to change, and heading to the free throw line, Hayshawn Hutcherson. This time we've really mentioned Hutcherson tonight, but 6'4" senior guard out of Colorado. Fouled in the act of shooting, and he goes to the line.
Yeah, the game has changed so much. I'm just looking at the physique of these guys, and back in the gap, that's what my preference was. Lanky, skinny young men. That's changed a lot now. Yeah, they got some bulk on them. They all let they play at least a mean game of pickleball.
I heard an interview with the old-time basketball legend Rick Barry the other day, where Rick was giving his theory on, could guys in my day play in the modern NBA, in the modern pro leagues? Yeah. Could modern pros play back in the 60s with Wilt and Oscar Robertson? And his point, which I thought was a good one, which is that, you just have to understand, too, it'd be very different if you move between the eras with different guys, in that, in Rick Barry's day, in the 1960s and 70s, there weren't trainers, there weren't nutritionists, you weren't going to the gym, you were smoking cigarettes on the bench.
Yeah, you had a side job. You had a side job in the summer.
Yes. Yeah, you're putting up, roofing tiles, painting barns, doing something.
Yep.
Different animal. And that was Rick's point. He was like, if I played today, he's like, I would be working on my game and my physique 365 days out of the year. It would be a very different thing.
I agree. Rick was a great player himself.
Was a great player. This great family line, the Barrys, John Barry. Long-time pro. San Diego State maintaining that 10-point margin. And I talked about this earlier in the broadcast, Rick. It was like points for both teams, but particularly for New Mexico, are coming at an absolute premium. And their rare occasion when Early got himself a clean look, but couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been ugly for New Mexico on the offensive side of the ball. And everything's been going right for San Diego. Everything's been going right for San Diego State right now.
It's been a fairly quiet crowd, in all truth. Starting to get a little bit more into it now, though, as this lead extends to 12.
We'll get the crowd more hyped, E?
We'll get the crowd more hyped.
If Rebecca Lobo walked in the room.
Ooh, that is a tough shot right there, but up and in, Taz Cooper. Cooper averages more than a dozen points a game. He's not quite on that pace tonight, just 4 points in this one for Cooper. Timeout for the Aztecs. We're going to take a quick break as well. 16-13 to go and a mountain to climb for the Lobos when we return.
Life comes at you fast. Be ready with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
10-point lead for San Diego State. It's a big number. I think you might know another big number that our audience needs to know about Rick Blaze.
What's
680
that?
perhaps? 680? I just hear that from my producer.
Yes.
J.K.
Congratulations.
J.K. Kyling? Was that it on the last name? Okay, got that there. Well, I'm correct, and more importantly, J.K. is on his number drawn tonight, and he wins those EMs. Congrats.
Congratulations, J.K. Lunch is on you, my friend.
Reintroduced into the game for the Lobos. Ryder Delaney's back out there, but turnover, and here come the Aztecs. Again, that deliberate style of play.
They need a bucket here in the Orange Bowl right now.
In New Mexico? Yeah, well, they got to. It starts with a stop. Oof. Tough.
Yeah, there we go.
That was a tough drive. I thought it might have been a travel, to be honest, but that's okay.
I'm glad I'll swallow the whistle. Ready to go home too.
Jet Nicholson out there in the backcourt. Taz Cooper has it, and he feeds Delaney down low. Delaney has been the star man for New Mexico, but he has that one swatted.
And he's not starting his own film tonight. Oh, come on.
A little bit out of bounds there. The frustration on Darian Hunt. Darian Hunt, 13.2 points per game. Usually gets a couple of those in highlight fashion as well, but it's been a quiet night for Hunt. He's not going to complain too much. San Diego State walks out of here with a victory, but it's been in some ways it's been the game we expected. Low scoring, low paced. In other ways, no. I think I was going to be talking about Ryder Delaney so much tonight. I figured I would talk a little bit more about Darian Hunt before this thing was over.
You better keep talking.
I guess
you better keep talking.
Yeah, time keeps ticking away here. Bucket there for New Mexico, however, does bring the lead down to 8. And let's see if they can get some more stops. Defensive calling card for this Lobos team. Oh, but that's a nice dish there. But look at that block.
Oh,
great recovery.
Oh. What a block.
Oh, and a dish and a finish. Let's celebrate Dre Ryder a little bit there. Got that block, brought it up, found a teammate for the easy dunk. What a sequence.
One of the few fast breaks from New Mexico tonight. Oh! And they broke their back on the back end.
Pedro Alexander gets it done. Excuse me, I got my 5s on the teams mixed up. That's Jet Nicholson wearing number 5 on New Mexico. That block and dish on that last possession. And here's Delaney, but he's well short. He's not. I like first half Delaney a lot better than second half Delaney.
First half of Delaney was taking what the defense was giving him. The second half, Delaney all of a sudden thinks he's a jump shot shooter.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for that Darian Hunt highlight moment, and there I got it. Strong, athletic finish. Chance for the three-point play, and Mari Gay heads to the bench looking a little bit defeated right there. Darian Hunt, 6'4" sophomore out of Irvine. You remember him from SimWorld Prep days, where again, wasn't necessarily a star player or highly ranked or anything like that, but you could see that athleticism and that potential, and I feel like Hunt's starting to round out into more of a real basketball player, not just a basketball athlete.
Absolutely. He was looked upon at first as a swift Army knife kind of guy, but he's really kind of carved his own way and his own style here. So we're gonna see if it translates, if he can get to the next level. But right now, he's just trying to help his team get him up.
Has it right now. Feeds inside. He's got Mason Kellogg there, but the ball batted around, ends up back with Hunt. Passing around on the outside now. San Diego State in no hurry.
Not at all.
They shouldn't be. Shot clock winding down. Turnaround jumper is short, but an offensive board. Back up and in. The near Garth Hubler. That's it to go. 14 points now. Is your lead.
That hurts.
San Diego State, New Mexico, Two of your tougher defensive teams in the college game, certainly in the Mountain West Conference. Going at it here, but just kind of feel like time is running out for the visitors. Unless New Mexico finds something here pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like it needs to be a Space Jam moment. Somebody need to zap the team.
Hutcherson back to the line. 68% shooter on the year, and he is well off on that one. Way to the right on that free throw.
Yeah, it's slippy. I heard him say it. He said it was slip. It's slippy. That's why you see he wiping his hand on his pants.
Colin Bank, like Colin Bank after it banks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a knockdown like in boxing. It's just a slip. I slipped.
Yeah, exactly. Now if you stay slipped for 10 seconds, you lost.
That's true. That's true.
Don't stay slipped.
What a move underneath. And I feel like San Diego State's confidence as a team is just growing every minute this game goes on. Jameer Garth-Eubler, his couple possessions has looked really sharp for the Aztecs. On the other hand, the Lobos, anything but. And the pickoff leads to an easy two by Kellogg. I thought we might see a timeout here from Coach Patino. Either that or, or if you got a white pocket square, just get that out and wave it maybe. You know, something like that could work too. I didn't expect him just to like run the offense. I'll put it that way.
Talk to the other coach, try to convince them. You know, you talk to somebody, you want them to do what you're doing, so you ask them in a way that you want them to know that you want them to do that.
Right, yes.
Hey, coach, man, I'm about ready to take out my starters, man. What you think? What you think?
Imagine a world where I took my starters out. What would happen?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. It just... The raindrop jumpers keep on falling in for San Diego State. Jameer Garth-Eubler, that's not necessarily his sweet spot out there, but getting it to go. 17-point lead for the Aztecs, and with just under 11 minutes to go, they look well on the way, improving to 16-10 on the season. Hey, I want to remind you, tomorrow night, SimWorld U is back in action. You got Virginia Tech, the Hokies, taking on the Cardinals of Louisville, and should be a good one. That tips off at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 p.m. out on the West Coast. You get in between, you figure out the time difference all the time, so I'm not going to tell you. You want to make sure to tune in for that one. Should be some more good SimWorld U battling going on there, and that'll be an entertaining one. You know, I gotta say, I'd probably lean toward Virginia Tech in that. I just kind of like them. It's been a real nice year. I actually don't think they're quite getting the respect they deserve. Not that they haven't been noticed, but you know, star names on that team too, guys we remember well from their SimWorld prep days. Von Rushing, the big man, 7'1" to the top of his head, 7'7" to the top of his hair. Axton Schuyler as well. It'll be fun watching them tussle with Louisville.
And don't forget, we got some SimWorld prep action going on as well. But you guys we got a lot going on. Make sure you guys stay locked in. Keep your messages on. Keep your parameters on. Your notices on. Only place where you can see the game, be the game.
Definitely no other place for that. Well, looks like tonight, once we get something, a miraculous turnaround from the Lobos, suffocating San Diego State defense, and efficient enough offense, certainly efficient enough tonight, getting it done. This might be a close one. We thought this might be an ugly game, but we didn't expect it to be an ugly because it was going to be one-sided.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be ugly. We didn't know it was going to be Shabba Ranks ugly.
I got to admit, that's a special kind of ugly. Hey,
that's a special kind of ugly.
9:58 to go here in the second half. Timeout on the court. We're going to take a quick break too, but come right back. San Diego State in control. We are back in action here. San Diego State pretty firmly in control of this one. Jode Platts working his way up toward a double-double, 13 points and 8 rebounds for him. And hey, look at that. Look at that for great timing. Look at that for great timing. Player of the game, Jode Platts. And
there you go.
You can't argue with that. 6-9 from the field. Having a great night, couple of assists, only 1 turnover. On the other side, Ryder Delaney, 12 points, but he's definitely gone cold here in the second half.
He's been the only bright spot in a much more dimmed offensive light for New Mexico.
Yeah, San Diego State just keeps on working, keeps on grinding. Lead back up to 17, and it's really here on this defensive end where they've just grabbed this game by the throat. New Mexico's got to move a little bit quicker than this, and they get a bucket there. What do you look for Taz Cooper? Taz Cooper has not had a bad game tonight. 10 points now for Cooper to go with 5 rebounds and a couple of assists. Mari Gay, though, still stuck on 4 points, 3 boards. Quiet night for the leader, the Lobos. And making his presence felt on defense there, too.
Good D.
They got that one, yep. You're talking about his poor stat line, wanted to pump it up there a little bit. And Amari did, flipping it up in, but Whitford can't get that to go. And
yeah, I mean, and obviously Gay's been playing not so great today, but, you know, a lot of times it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He used to hit the last 3 shots for the team to help him win the game. All of a sudden, what he did in the first half, I mean, it's simple.
San Diego State making sure that clock going to run all the way down on this possession. Hunt has it, gives it up. Gets it back, drives. The lay-in won't go and can't come up the offensive board.
That hurts. You had a chance to stretch that lead out. And if you're New Mexico, you're praying for points. Some guys in certain villages pray for rain. New Mexico's praying for points.
Ooh.
Almost out.
2 Aztec defenders converge there, but Dre Ryder is going to be the one who picks up the foul. And that sends New Mexico's Draco Whitford to the line. 6 points and 2 assists tonight for Whitford. New Mexico.
Let's see if you do your regular jinx like you normally do.
I'm gonna leave poor Draco alone. I mean, it's been such a tough night for New Mexico. They are under 40% from the field. They are 1 for 9 from 3. They've been out-rebounded 29-20 so far by San Diego State. Mexico's turned it over 5 times, only has 7 assists. San Diego State, 15 assists, 6 turnovers.
We call that sharing the sugar.
Yeah. These are, I guess, the numbers you expect. You're getting beaten pretty handily. And that's what's going on for New Mexico tonight. But look, they still have time. Coming up on 7.5 minutes. Time to chop this lead down, make it a ball game, get it to a couple possession game, and then anything can happen. That's what they got time.
Not anything. Not anything.
Say anything, Rick. Say anything. Come on. Oh, short there from Hunt. And here's a chance for the Lobos. I'm willing it. Look at me. I'm willing it into existence. Ireland early. Pull up and pop this. I'm telling you. Yeah, he didn't. I thought, I called that player of the game thing that had happened, so I thought I could bring it back here, too. Apparently not. Whitford does get a second chance opportunity.
That's important.
That's important. You need those. But you got to do something with them. Time running out here. As Cooper. Oh, a transition bucket.
Beautiful.
And that's just great, too. I love that there from San Diego State. New Mexico, first of all, physically tired, emotionally a little bit beaten, and expecting San Diego State just to pull that back and run time off the clock like they've been doing. Smart play to feed a big man, Jode Platts, down low. get him another bucket, get this lead back up to 15 with 6:45 to go in the game.
Yep. And if you're New Mexico, I mean, the coach, you calling this timeout because right now you want to get your dinner plans together. You want to be talking about where you guys are going to eat for dinner tonight. And so this timeout was to set that up. We made some preliminary plans. It's time to really set on those because these kids are going. What happened tonight on the court was not a fun night if you were a New Mexico basketball fan.
Ireland early, just 1 for 9 from the field. He has made the only three-pointer that New Mexico's hit in the game. Damari Gay, 2 of 7. On the other side, however, San Diego State been pretty balanced tonight. They've got 4 players in double digits. Big men Mason Kellogg, Jameer Garth-Ugler, and of course Jode Platts and Lassina Traore. African import.
It's been a real team.
It really has.
For this game tonight. And they really, these are kind of wins you want to stack these up, get as many as easy as you can in a row. Yeah, it might not be some big name team or some top first place conference team, but it's hard to win these days. So you take any win you can get, however you get.
There's Lassina Traore getting another bucket. Sophomore guard, 6'2" out of Burkina Faso. Has not been efficient with his shot all year long, but you can't say that about his game tonight. He's been great, actually, Traore. And Jode defends Gay, really well there once again. And once again, moving the ball up quickly is San Diego State. Back it back out. Content to chew a little time off.
Absolutely. There's no rush for San Diego State. There's no rush at all. You just want to put the air out, let the air out the tire a little bit.
Yep.
Wait some shot clock and get them as many as limited possessions as possible. And still scoring there behind apparently if you miss the play.
Jode Platts. Big night from him. He's a senior. Haven't heard a whole lot about him in terms of draft stock or potential for the next level, but
I'd say a young man has a bright future. Whatever he decides to do, he's going to be just fine. But I don't know why the SWPA player wouldn't pick him up. He's a great glue guy, at the very least.
At the least, yeah, that's right. And he's been the alpha tonight. What looks to be a victorious San Diego State team. Traore feeds it inside. Ryder kicks it back out to him. Oh, great dish from Traore. Finds Avajan all open. There's the one.
All right, Coach, put the white flag, Coach. Boy, that enough for beating. He took enough.
4.5 minutes now. New Mexico State took a 2-0 lead. San Diego State quickly responded, and they have been in front the entire rest of the way.
Everyone's spotted everything.
They're taking a quick peek at the Mountain West, assuming the situation here remains the same, and with the lead now at 18, it's looking increasingly likely. San Diego State, both these teams were 5-4 in conference coming into this one. This will move San Diego State to 6-4. Leave them alone in third in the Mountain West, trailing in percentage points anyway. 6-3 Gonzaga, 7-2 UNLV. Gonzaga, the only ranked team in the Mountain West, but I think UNLV, San Diego State, maybe even St. Mary's, capable of making a little bit of noise come the end of the year.
Yeah, historically, that's what St. Mary's does almost every season.
Yes.
They have in the last decade or so.
Yes.
They just come alive during time to time. Also, UNLV has a lot of talent. I will never count them out because of the amount of talent they have, especially from their freshman classes this year. A lot of talent there. If they get hot at the right time, they can beat almost anybody.
New Mexico State definitely has seen the writing on the wall at this point. Just looking for a decent shot and trying to move too quickly, and just not happening for them tonight. San Diego State going to call a timeout. I think we might see Mr. Platts head to the bench, get some reserves. Or,
Yeah. Let the boys in.
Time for that in this one, I think. Absolutely. But yeah, Joe Platts, definitely your player of the game. Started strong and didn't really let up throughout the remainder of this one.
Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey there, big guy. You know, you look a little tired. Why don't you come over here and sit down? Yeah, come on. That's right, sit down.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Well, if that is the last we're going to see tonight, San Diego State senior Joe Platts, he's going to exit with 19 points, 9 rebounds, a couple assists, 9 of 12 shooting. What a great night from him. What a nice win, convincing win. The Aztecs at home.
Yeah, Aztecs needed to win this one again, get the momentum, good shot. It's for New Mexico, it's very disappointing. They wanted to come in and make a statement, prize better their positions, and their confidence, but it was not in the cards. It was not meant to be. San Diego State going to come out the victory.
Looking increasingly likely that that's going to be the case. 19-point margin and just 2 minutes to play in this one.
Normally, about 3 minutes ago, you were talking about, perhaps there's still a chance to come back. You've kind of dialed down those thoughts in the last 2 minutes.
I'm not yet. I have. Might have needed to see a little bit more. Yeah. It's especially not helpful when San Diego State keeps on extending that lead. Mason Kellogg, he gets a chance for an and one here, as you were just saying, Rick. And Kellogg, 14 points. He's the second leading scorer now for San Diego State.
Well,
Mason Kellogg, 6'9", 230-pounder. He's just a junior out of Nevada. Crazy thing with Kellogg is he actually has been the least utilized Aztec player all year, not even averaging 10 minutes a game, just over 2 points and 2 rebounds per contest. Tonight, a little bit of a different story. Mason Kellogg, double-digit scoring, 4 rebounds, couple of assists, a steal, a block, no turnovers. Great game from him.
He did everything but serve the popcorn tonight.
He really did. Long-range jumper, and Rosales gets one to go. That is Hector Rosales just coming off the bench.
I like it. My man come off the bench, not worried about being cold, not worried about getting to the foot offense. Man, I'm fine that thing.
Yep.
Pass me the ball, it's going up. That's all I'm talking about. I like his style.
See, maybe they get it to Rosales again. Oh, no, not that time. That's, once again, Taz Cooper. 12 points now for Cooper. He and Dulaney leading scorers tonight for New Mexico.
That might have been a foul, too.
Yeah, I think the ref just might have swallowed his whistle there on that one. He's ready to go home, too.
Yeah, they took their whistles off their neck 2 minutes ago. One of them only had on socks. He just already go. He took the socks off at the halftime. He ran around with just them Walmart shoes with no socks.
It'd be funny if you had refs throwing whistles like into the crowd, like guitar picks at a concert or something. or wristbands from the players, things like that.
Yeah, that'd be
Shot clock off. Clearly, San Diego State more than content to wrap this thing up. 80-61. Congrats to them. San Diego State going to move into a solo third position in the Mountain West and 16-10 overall. Joe Platts, the senior out of Sparks, Nevada. He's your star man. 19 points, 9 boards. New Mexico, back to the lab, back to the drawing board for Coach Pitino. A lot to clean up after this one. Well, Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed being with us tonight. Doubleheader. Hope you're here for both games. And hope you'll be back tomorrow. Remember, that's 7 o'clock Eastern when we return SimWorld TV. Catch more U action there. Till then, for my own good self, E. Lava, for my broadcasting partner, Rick Blaze, and for everybody behind the scenes at SimWorld, we thank you. Love having you at the only place.
This has been a presentation